Shida tuko naye Kenya ni average thinking, ordinary, usual. Unless we up our game, unless we up our ambition, unless we think about the extraordinary, we have to begin to think about the excellent. Wachana na hii average. Hii average thinking hii ndio inatuletea hasara. We look at everything, we think it is impossible. We look at that, we think it's impossible.
Waendelea kutusi sisi. Continue abusing us. That is why you are saying we are average thinkers, because you think we are so stupid that you can con us again, that you can make Kenya a first world country. You think we are that foolish. And that is why you are saying that we are average thinkers. Tunasema atutuache ujinga.
Many of you, not you, many people in Kenya were asking me, what is wrong with you? Who told you we need houses? But you see, any country that needs to stimulate the economy, they look at public infrastructure. So the Keleles came. I was given new names, Sakayo, I don't know who. But I stood my ground. Because it was the right thing to do 40 years ago. It is still the right thing to do now. I don't mind the names. I don't mind the names. So long as Kenya gets transformed, I'm missing a problem. Nations are not changed by small thinking, being politically correct all the time, You are waiting watu wakupigia makofi throughout. You can never change a nation that way.
Ati tutoe pesa vile tumetoa ya housing. Ulitulazimisha. Hakuna mtu alitoa pesa ya housing, you forced us. And I want to announce again, mkinipea hii kiti ya rais, kazi ya kwanza, tukitoka Kasarani, tukifika State House, the first executive order is to scrap the housing levy.
I did sit down with the former Prime Minister, Raila Odinga. We had this conversation, and he was 100% on board. I did sit down with Uhuru Kenyatta 2 months ago to have this conversation, that it is time for us to move Kenya away from this mediocrity.
He is saying that since Mzee Raila has rested, that he has no opponent. Let me tell him, wewe William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua is not your opponent. Kalonzo Musyoka is not your opponent. George Natevia is not your opponent. Martha Karua is not your opponent. Eugene Wamalwa is not your opponent. Your greatest opponent, in case you didn't know, are the Gen Zs and the millennials.
When I look at housing, look at what we have achieved. In 2 years, just 2 years, you go to Mukuru, you go to Eldoret, you go to Nakuru, you go to Kisumu, you go to Migori, you go to anywhere. Things are happening. And it's just 2 years. Just imagine if we do this for 10 years. What about 20 years? You will not recognize Kenya in 20 years of this.
In a record 3 years, he has destroyed the education system. In a record 3 years, he has destroyed the health system. In a record 3 years, ameharibu biashara. Kila kitu ameharibu, nothing is working. And he thinks Kenyans are foolish, that he can trust them, and they can trust him, that he has a capacity to make Kenya to be first world. Kama ile tumekupatia mwaka 3 umeharibu. Umeiba kila kitu. The only things you have succeeded, William Ruto, is abducting young people, killing young children, stealing everything. Sasa amefungua factory ya furniture Eldoret. So amesema msitu ifunguliwe, ndio watu wakate miti wapeleke kwa factory yake. Everything is about him. Amefungua factory ya chuma, ndio sasa anaweka mambo ya affordable housing. Amefungua factory ya tiles. This man is in every field ya biashara. Amechukua biashara yote Kenya, mpaka matatu amechukua na watoto wake. Sasa Aposeli, he is demanding from Governor Lenku 400 acres aweke hoteli. Huko Samburu National Park ameweka. This man has taken over all businesses and driven kila mfanyibiashara out of business. You know? Sasa tunashindwa, nyinyi vijana mukileta mchezo mkose kuchukua kura, kwa sababu nyinyi ndio tegemeo letu. You are the only guys Ruto cannot bribe. You guys, you are the only people he cannot intimidate. You are the hope of this country. Without you guys, there will be no country. Please, my sons and daughters, I plead with you. Save this country. Save this country. Register as voters. Again, contest all these seats so that we can also have a good voter turnout.
What we have done in the last 3 years is okay, but it's not good enough. It is not good enough. Why do I say so? Kenya is a third world country by mistake. We shouldn't be a third world country. We are not made of third world country stuff. We are supposed to be playing in a different league. Some people defending, no, you see, Ruto anataka kuuza airport. Mimi nataka niuze airport niende nifanyie kitu gani? You know, Qatar here is building an airport in Rwanda under the same framework. Are we together? So I had a conversation with the Emir today, and we have put on the table what we are going to do with our airport, what are we going to do with Kenya Airways, and all the other things. Because, you know, the kind of investment we need kwa hiyo airport yetu is possibly almost 200 billion Kenyan shillings. We don't have to put our money. We have money in the private sector that can do it. Yeah? So we need about 4.5 trillion Kenyan shillings to undertake the three things I have told you. Let me give you one final example. Sababu najua imani yenu pengine iko kidogo. But you have seen this country is kama sio mafuta, you know. We have more assets than they do. Kama sio mafuta ama? Yes. You know, all these barabara, nini, housing, imepangwa. It's been built. See what it was there? All this you see here was not there 30, 40 years ago. But they've done it. As a country, unless we save, unless we have a good culture of saving, we cannot change our country. We cannot. Mtu anaana 100,000, analipa 200 shillings. Mtu anaana 200,000, analipa. Ndio mjue iko ujinga mingi hii dunia. So what happened? We were left behind. Uganda, 20 years ago, changed their contribution to percentage. 10% by the employer, 10% by the employee. Tanzania, 20 years ago, changed 10% employer, 10% employee. By changing the contribution structure, our national security, social security fund, from independence, mpaka 2023, we had collected 320 billion shillings for 60 years. How much? 320 billion. In 2 years, with the changed contribution structure, we have doubled to 670 billion shillings. That is how countries grow. Munanielewa?
Kasongo ametudanganya, alisema ataweka ICT hubs kila ward. Mumeziona? And you know this guy is actually mannerless. Let me ask you. He told us ataweka sisi pesa kwa mfuko. Ile kidogo tulikuwa nazo wakato? Ni muongo si muongo? Now he is telling Kenyans that apatiwe nafasi ati to make Kenya at the first world. Kama una habari. Number 2 opponent wako William Ruto, ambaye atajiunga na hao Gen Zs na millennials, are the payslip holders of the Republic of Kenya. Kama una habari, wale mama mboga na watu ya bodaboda ulidanganya ati tutawatoa chini wapadishe juu, utaweka pesa kwa mfuko, ukarudi kwa mfuko ukatoa kila kitu. Those are your opponents. Kama una habari, wale wa mama na wazee ulibomoa manyumba zao hapa Nairobi karibu na mto, hao ndio wapinzani wako. Kama una habari, wale police officers umeharibu insurance scheme yao, watoto wao wanahangaika. Those are your opponents. In a nutshell, William Ruto, your opponents ni kila Mkenya. Yule candidate tutatoa moja ni kwa niaba ya hiyo wapinzani wako. But that is not your opponent. He will just be a representative of the people against you. And let me confirm, for the avoidance of doubt, we shall have one single presidential candidate. For the time being, our single presidential candidate for now is Ruto must go. And our plan for now is one term. So nobody, we have never sat down and we are not in a hurry. What we have agreed, kila kiongozi ajitolee aende asukume pahali ako na ushawishi.
Because hakuna haja ya kufichana. We have to tell each other the truth. So we must stop this small thinking. I am very happy that now we are growing our own savings. Because of growing our own savings, interest rates will come down. Because we have enough patient money to lend. Our treasury bills will come down. Our treasury bonds will come down. We will have, a much more stable economy. That is how we'll change Kenya. So, why I'm telling you tunaweza kubadilisha hii nchi yetu in a very short time is because we have the most hard-working people. We have the most, innovative people. What excuse do I have? I'm not an old man. Nimesoma vizuri. Mimi si mtu mjinga. I know what I'm doing. So I don't have an excuse not to transform Kenya.